As a child, McArthur Binion didn't dream of hanging his paintings in world-renowned galleries. He was too busy hauling water from a well just to bathe. Growing up in the rural town of Macon, Mississippi in the 1940s, his life was defined by struggle. His family of 11 lived in a modest house with no running water, no electricity, and an outhouse instead of a proper bathroom. Poverty was an inescapable reality, but against all odds, Binion transformed these hardships into the very foundation of his art. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss intriguing and entertaining art stories. This harsh early environment, coupled with the racial tensions of the Jim Crow South, shaped Binion's identity and artistic vision. Later, his move to industrial Detroit offered a stark contrast to his rural upbringing, exposing him to new cultural and artistic influences. These experiences of labor, displacement, and perseverance became deeply embedded in his work, influencing the layered complexity of his abstract compositions. His paintings, with their intricate grids and hidden autobiographical details, are more than just art. They are a visual memoir of endurance, survival, and self-invention. At 19, driven by curiosity and ambition, Binion moved from Detroit to New York City, accepting a humble job at a small magazine. Although initially intended merely as a practical decision, this move became a turning point in his life, on an errand delivering a package to the Museum of Modern Art. Binion encountered original paintings for the first time. The experience was revelatory, profoundly shifting his perception and igniting a strong desire to become an artist. Despite his newfound passion, Binion encountered significant obstacles. At 22, he enrolled in his first drawing class, surrounded by younger students already proficient in their craft. His initial attempts at drawing were emotionally overwhelming and frustrating, leaving him in tears. Rather than being discouraged, this moment of vulnerability strengthened his resolve. Determined to overcome his shortcomings, Binion committed himself rigorously to practice, drawing daily for 2 continuous years, methodically developing the disciplined approach and mastery that now define his art. During this period, Binion was also deeply immersed in literature and poetry, further enriching his conceptual approach. He began to explore various artistic mediums, experimenting with printmaking and sculpture, eventually solidifying his unique aesthetic approach. Binion's artistic philosophy was shaped profoundly by his fascination with abstract expressionism. He admired artists who transitioned swiftly from Cubism's representational imagery to the expressive, purely abstract art of the mid-20th century. Binion credits jazz music, especially bebop, for this dramatic artistic shift. Musicians like Charlie Parker, Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Julius Hemphill, Henry Threadgill, Cecil Taylor, and the Art Ensemble of Chicago exemplified improvisational mastery. Moreover, Binion has emphasized how the dynamic, spontaneous nature of jazz directly informed his understanding of abstract painting, viewing improvisation as a crucial component of artistic freedom. His appreciation of jazz extended beyond mere influence. He actively immersed himself in jazz culture, regularly attending performances and forming relationships with musicians, further enriching his creative outlook. Additionally, the visual aesthetics of jazz album covers and the energy of live performances significantly impacted his artistic sensibility. He consistently explores profound intersections between visual art and sound, striving for harmony between these disciplines. Notably, Binion commissioned acclaimed jazz composer Henry Threadgill to create a musical composition specifically responding to his artwork, highlighting a deep, reciprocity between auditory and visual sensations. This artistic exchange allowed Binion to further investigate how rhythm, harmony, and melody translate visually onto the canvas. In several series, Binion has explicitly referenced musical forms such as blues structures and jazz improvisation patterns. His tribute to his late friend, composer Lawrence Butch Morris, further illustrates this intertwined relationship between sound and image, incorporating Morris's original musical scores directly into his paintings, thus translating ephemeral auditory experiences into tangible visual forms. Binion's unique artistic technique emphasizes personal and physical connection. His canvases reflect his physical proportions, representing his height or 7-foot squares, his wingspan, thereby embodying his physical self within each piece. Central to Binion's practice is what he calls the underconscious, a concept representing abstraction's intimate connection to personal memory and experience. Beneath the formal, abstract patterns lie deeply personal narratives, often drawn from familial history or critical moments from his past. This layering technique not only adds complexity, but also evokes a powerful emotional response from viewers, who often sense the presence of stories beneath the visible abstract surface. Binion's lifelong struggle with stuttering profoundly influenced his artistic identity and voice. Stuttering forced him to cultivate exceptional listening and observational skills, which significantly impacted his sensitivity to rhythm, silence, and space within his compositions. This personal characteristic is explicitly reflected in Binion's artwork titles, which often include deliberate punctuation such as colons to mimic the pauses and rhythms inherent in his speech patterns. This integration of personal experience into his work adds layers of meaning, enabling Binion to communicate visually what he sometimes struggles to express verbally. His stuttering thus becomes not only a personal trait, but also a profound artistic tool. In recent years, McArthur Binion has achieved considerable recognition within the international contemporary art scene. Represented by prestigious galleries like Lehman Maupin, Binion's artwork has been featured prominently in major exhibitions and institutional collections worldwide. Despite his recognition, Binion maintains a critical stance towards the art world's historical exclusion of Black artists, acknowledging systemic barriers while emphasizing community building among marginalized artists. Want to talk about art with confidence but don't know where to start? Leap Art's free art guide gives you simple, effective tools to break down artwork and express your thoughts with ease. Whether you're new to art or looking to refine your skills, this guide will help you engage in meaningful discussions effortlessly. You'll find the link in the description. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more inspiring art stories and deep dives into the creative world.